as we think about what it means to make money, right? There's a very different cultural and historical context in ancient Israel than in the 21st century globalized post-industrial economy with artificial intelligence. Very different contexts. But you can see in the Torah God's heart. That's the real best thing about the law, is that it reveals God's character. And then you can think about, okay, in a different context, how do we apply this same the same reverence for God's character, knowing that the character of God has not changed. Even though the context has changed, the character has not changed. Okay, so what's the character of God that we see here? I would say that it's God is willing to slow down and keep pace with people who move kind of slowly. Do you see that? Right? This is why I opened with that illustration about, have you ever had to slow down for somebody? You want to harvest all the way to the edge of the field. You want to make as much money as you can. You want to be as efficient as you possibly can. But what does God say? God says, slow down. Right? You don't have to go all the way to the edge. You don't have to go back and pick up what you forgot. Leave that for someone else. God himself is slowing down to the pace of the widow, the sojourner, the fatherless. And he's asking his people to slow down with him, to move at a pace that leaves room for them, even if it means making a smaller harvest. Okay, how could we apply that same character, reverence that same character of God in our 21st century context? Well, I would say, what does it mean for us to slow down and keep pace with people? It might mean that we don't make as much money as we possibly can, as efficiently as we possibly can. Sometimes we might have to make decisions where we're making less money because that's a better way of keeping pace with people. So maybe your company could switch to using AI for something, but that would immediately get rid of a whole bunch of jobs. And if your only goal was the bottom line, if your only goal was we're going to decrease costs and increase profits, then it's clearly the right business decision to automate it, switch it to AI, lay off that whole chunk of the company. Maybe that's not the most ethical choice, right? Maybe keeping pace with people, with human beings that need jobs, right? Again, not ignoring innovation, not doing work that doesn't matter, but thinking through, maybe we could still make enough money to stay in business this quarter, but not make quite as many profits. And in the process, take time to think about how could we redesign work so that these people stay employed in a meaningful way that continues to produce value.